Welcome to this new time-lapse video, where I will show you how to create 3D trees and bushes with Tree IT and import them into Blender, ready to be used on our racing tracks. Before starting, I invite you to subscribe to the channel to be able to follow the next tutorials on Assetto Corsa, which will be published soon. Tree IT is a software for generating trees and vegetation. The new version, downloadable from Steam at a very low cost, gives us the possibility to create fabulous trees. The new version of Tree IT differs from the previous free version, with improvements made both in the UI and in performance and graphics. After choosing a reference of our tree, we begin to create the trunk by clicking on the icons in the box. At the top right, we can quickly select the part of the tree we want to modify. At the bottom, the parameters open to be able to define all the variants that we want to change, such as length of the trunks, how many branches must appear, and much more. Thanks to the icons on the left side, we can add various elements such as branches, forehead, roots, leaves, flowers, and fruits. By clicking on the icons, you will add elements to our graph on the right. All components can be moved and docked with each other. We can also duplicate an element by pressing the Shift key and dragging the element onto another to be able to attach a copy. For example, we can duplicate the leaves while maintaining the same parameters. For each element, we can choose a texture, which we can choose from the library offered by Triad, or choose a new texture created by us. In this part of the video, I am trying to recreate a maritime pine, which is part of the route I am creating in this period. Starting from the trunk and branches, I try to reproduce the main basic shape where I will later insert the leaves. The combinations are endless. My suggestion is to always start from a clear reference and try to reproduce the basic skeleton of the tree, then analyze the branches. For example, if they extend downwards or upwards, and then try to imitate them with Tree IT, finally adding leaves. An important thing about the leaves is to make the leaves as if they were planes and not as individual small elements. This is to avoid the mesh being very dense with polygons. If we used a latest generation graphics engine like UE5, we would have no problems thanks to Nanite. But on other engines, it is a good idea to keep the polygon numbers low to avoid burdening the graphics engine and overloading the GPU. With Tree IT, we can also choose the shape of the surfaces textured with the leaves. For example, we can choose a cross or diamond shape and many others. This always depends on the type of tree we want to reproduce. When we are satisfied with the result, we can save the project. Subsequently, we will also choose how many LODs the software must create. The LODs are the detail levels of our mesh to reduce the number of polygons. In this case, I chose 3 levels of detail. One very interesting thing that the program does is that of directing the normals of the planes all upwards. This is important for the creation of trees for Assetto Corsa. They make the trees more beautiful to look at and with correct lighting. By playing with the tree IT parameters, we can also create various types of bushes and plants. In this case, I will make bushes. The procedure is the same, starting from a trunk, which in this case will be much smaller than a normal tree. I will start the branches and then cover it with leaves. Thanks to the guide that we find printed on the base grid, we can understand what the diameter of the bush will be. Over the years, I have always increased my library of leaves and textures, and this is something I recommend you do too. Import all meshes into Blender and scale the meshes if necessary. After importing all the meshes and assigning the necessary textures to the materials, including the alpha channel for transparency, we are ready to plant the trees on our path. Open your path in a second Blender project and in a new collection, copy and paste the meshes. Now all you have to do is duplicate and move your trees. Remember that you can also enable Blender Face Snap to be able to adapt the Z-axis of the meshes with the terrain normals. I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe to the channel to follow the new tutorials on Assetto Corsa that will be published soon. Thanks for watching the video. See you in the next tutorial.